Welcome back to the Unspoken Chair. I'm your host, and this seat, as always, is yours. We've sat together through starting over, loneliness, heartbreak, burnout, letting safety in, and the choice to raise a life or not. Today, we're going somewhere quieter, and maybe somewhere braver, into the question of what happens when all the outside noise falls away, and it's just you, alone with yourself. Take a breath. Get comfortable. And thank you, truly, for bringing yourself here today, exactly as you are. We live in a world that teaches us to look for proof of our own worth outside of ourselves, in other people's praise, in relationships, in status, in likes. But what happens when those outside supports collapse? We're left alone with the silence. Today, I want to talk about how to rebuild yourself from the inside out, and become your own main source of steadiness. When someone leans entirely on external things, their emotional state becomes hostage to circumstance. But an inner anchor isn't about being hard or selfish. It's simply the ability to stay on your own side, even when everything around you is falling apart. If the ground feels like it's shifting under you right now, that's completely normal. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're weak. It just means your old external supports have stopped working, and it's time to build new ones from within. But to build something solid inside ourselves, we first have to stop running from what we actually feel, right now. And the first thing we usually run from is sadness. Why do you think we're so afraid to feel sad? And why do you think toxic positivity actually does more harm than good? Here's something worth sitting with, too. What's the real difference, for you, between spiraling into a depressive loop and honest, healing sadness? Thank you for going there with me. Sadness isn't a malfunction of the mind, and it isn't a flaw. It's a completely natural response to loss, exhaustion, or expectations that didn't come true. When we force sadness down with mandatory positivity, we don't actually resolve it. We just preserve the pain, unprocessed. So let yourself be sad, without rushing to fix your mood or find a silver lining in everything. Let the emotion simply exist. Sadness is where the soul rests and quietly processes what it's been through. Often, the deepest sadness comes from rejection, when plans fall apart, when people leave, when we hear the word no. But what if we looked at rejection from a completely different angle? Why do you think we so often knock on closed doors, almost begging to be let into spaces where we clearly weren't wanted? And how can we learn to see the word no, not as an ending, but as protection, and as space clearing for something that's actually meant for us? Rejection is almost never a verdict on your worth as a person. Most of the time, it's simply a mismatch of context, of timing, of values. When we take rejection as a direct hit to our ego, we spend all our energy pounding on a closed door, instead of turning around to see what else is actually available to us. A closed door isn't always a tragedy. Sometimes it's the quietest, most effective protection mechanism in your life. If something left, or if someone told you no, try holding yourself gently, and thanking that moment for its clarity. Space just opened up. And once the noise has settled, the doors have closed, and we've learned to sit with our own sadness, we eventually arrive at a very quiet point, complete aloneness. Which brings us to the real question: how do you make yourself happy, with just yourself? What's the real difference, for you, between painful loneliness and healing solitude? And what are some concrete things that help a person stop waiting for a rescuer and start actually living a warm, interesting life, right now, exactly as they are? Loneliness becomes painful when we treat ourselves like a half, endlessly waiting to be completed by someone else. But when a person learns to meet their own basic needs, emotional warmth, meaningful time, self-care, entirely on their own, the whole relationship to solitude shifts. It stops being isolation. It becomes freedom. Here's something I want you to remember: you are already whole. You don't need anyone's permission or anyone else's presence to buy yourself flowers, take a trip, enjoy a good meal, or simply sit in silence and feel at peace. The longest, most important romance of your entire life is the one you have with yourself. Make it a beautiful one. Thank you for sitting with the quiet parts today. The sadness, the rejection, the aloneness, and for staying with all of it instead of running. If today reminded you of anything, I hope it's this: you were never missing a piece. You're not waiting to be completed. You're simply learning to come home to yourself, one honest moment at a time. Before you go, I'd love to know, what's your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Leave it in the comments below. Someone reading it might need those exact words tonight. Remember, this is a safe space, and you are always at home here, safe and at peace. Thank you for being here with me today. See you in the next episode of the Unspoken Chair. Until then, don't forget to subscribe and take care of yourself.